There's my little friend up there, which I keep on my table, courtesy of the French many years ago. What a beautiful, beautiful thing that is. But in a way, whatever. I have to find beauty where I can find it. So here we are. We're going to have a little cooking tonight. I'll put my French friend back on the table where he belongs. And I'm going to make a very simple dinner tonight. It's been cooking quite a while, to be honest with you. But I'm back I did a show today on Newsmax that's probably one of my best. And I can talk politics with you in a while if you wish, about the Middle East, about the border. But right now it's Friday night with Mike. And I may just sit out here and eat dinner. Oh, that sound. Is there any more plaintive sound on earth than a pair of Canadian geese playing together while Americans, Europeans can't stay together for more than a year or two? They mate for life. What a beautiful thing it is to watch nature. It keeps me sane, feeding my seagulls, watching all the bird life. It's just something that you have to do in order to appreciate it. There's no books that can tell you about nature the way watching nature can tell you about nature. Anyway, you heard my little sermon just now, and I'm going to head back in, see how my dinner is coming, and I'll tell you what it is. First glass of wine I've had since I'm back. Oh, am I glad I left Florida because a heat wave hit. Like 90 some odd degrees. Jeez, I couldn't take it. The humidity knocked me on my arse. I'm a person who hates flying. Some find it charming. I don't know about you. I've done too much of it in my life. Now, in the old days, you want to hear about the old days? When the old big 747s with sky lounges used to fly? Those were the days to fly, my friend. There's no such thing as first class anymore. That was first class. Medium flip. Hold on now. And I'll continue telling you about the great days of air travel. So this is, oh, these are good. Look at these. They're done. I'm going to turn the heat off and let them sit here for a minute. Organic bone-in chicken thighs with the skin on, with some grilled shiitake mushrooms on the side. And I'm going to let them settle in because my rice will be done shortly. It's going to be great. I'll turn it off and let it cool off. My rice is done. I'm eating some vegetables and I'm eating my delicious Fresno chilies. I'm eating them like raw like this. I'm an honorary Mexican. Yeah, so good. I started eating these during COVID on the theory that hot peppers are certainly not only salubrious for the digestion, but also protective against microbes. Who knows? I know that they certainly are. I know that Campylobacter bacterium, for ulcers, duodenal ulcers, are absolutely cured by capsaicin found in red peppers. So it's not like a theory. That's bread for the birds, by the way. Wine. Love comes in at the eyes. That's all we shall ever know until the day we die. William Butler Yeats, great white poet. So my dish is sitting here pregnant with expectation of my chicken and rice. I'm going to make it so simple that it's going to be perfect. I love these jade green dishes. The world is broken right now. And so perilous because of the dangerous children running the country, that living well is the only solution, taking care of yourself and your family, and praying to God, if you wish, if you believe in that stuff. I'm going to do a podcast very soon on religion versus socialism, or religion versus government. I've been thinking about it in greater detail as I've gotten on in the cerebral world. This has been the battle, hasn't it? Marx said that religion is the opiate of the masses, and I would say that Marxism is the opiate of the asses. But that's me. But I don't know which has been worse for the world. Now, you could say, come on, Michael, you're in God, but that's not the point. God is one thing, religion is another. Crusades. Now, the Crusades occurred because the Muslims had invaded Christian lands. That's a given. It's history to make the school rioters happy. So the Crusades, where they went out and killed Muslims, was Muslims had killed the Christians and stolen land from Christians. And it was only at the Battle of Poitiers in France, you see, where the Muslims were turned back when what is now known as Basque country, filled with some noblemen, turned the Muslim hordes back where they came from. History can be very embarrassing for those who are ignoramuses. But before I get distracted and pull my food out and turn off the phone, I had begun to tell you that I do not like flying. By the way, here's where all the magic happens, right here. You won't believe this. I do all my TV shows from right here. In this little home studio, it looks like I'm somewhere else, doesn't it? I've created a whole world unto myself, which I love. There's Nipper the dog with a Savage Nation hat. There's a great phrase that's not been matched by anyone in media. No one has ever done it. Well, the only phrase better than liberalism is a mental disorder is borders, language, culture. And nobody else in the media or TV or anywhere else has ever come up with phrases to equal those. And there are many others. Savagisms will live for a long time. Beloved pet Teddy, who is now in pet heaven. I miss him every day. There he was in another picture painted by my friend Giovanni's restaurant when it was still around before COVID wiped him off the map. But this is the best rendition of Teddy. That was him. That smile could rip your guts out. Look at that face. Oh, do I miss him tonight? I wish he had been here to greet me when I came home. I loved him. That fellow. What a noble little guy. But friends said to me, I thought he was a poof dog. I didn't know he had such balls. What an animal. What a noble animal. He had the guts of a lion. He didn't know he was 11 pounds. 110-pound tiger or cougar. Well, no, that brings up Palm Beach. I'm sorry. Back to what we were talking about before I lose my train of thought about airplane travel, you see. It was a train of thought. I'm not Joe Biden. I'm doing this as a joke to show you what a good mind is, and age has nothing to do with age has nothing to do with it. He has no mental acuity. I never miss a beat. So the great days of flying, excuse me, the great days of flying were back in the late 60s and early 70s when there were gigantic 7s with sky lounges. The entire bubble on the 747, hold on please, the nicest sound on earth is wine on a Friday night when you know you don't give a shite anymore about world politics. See, that looks nice, doesn't it? If you're a white wine drinker, as I am. Oh, yeah, he puts ice in it. Report me to the ice police. So, folks, I have no title for this show yet, but I'm going to have to remove my chicken very shortly. I'm letting it kind of settle out there in the heating thing, and God, everything's done. A long while to make it happen. I decided I'm going to go to a restaurant. I don't like restaurants that much. They have their place. I have my favorite place I go to. I love the owner, the service. I love the cleanliness. But tonight I wasn't in the mood to go anywhere, right? After traveling home, sweet home. I'm on the 747s in the late 60s or 70s, you see. And the upper lounge, if you're a pilot or you know what I'm talking about, was a bar. There were no seats up there originally. It was just a bar area. And, excuse me, if you find it objectionable that I eat while talking, please hang up and go listen to television. That is good. That is an organic shiitake mushroom. I'm sorry, portobello. Sorry, not today. Portobello. It's so good. Mushroom is so good. So good for the blood. So good for the blood. Now, I should tell you about this. I told you. So it was a Sky Lounge bar, actual bar, with a stewardess serving you. Yes, stewardess. No trans, no gays. I mean, even they're gay, they kept it themselves. Who cared? Maybe the pilots were gay. I didn't care. So no one asked. No one told. Don't ask, don't tell. Oh, wait. I get on the plane, have a couple of Sky Lounge, and you talk. You meet people. It was great. I remember flying once from Nairobi to Honolulu, I think, whatever the length of time was. It was so wonderful. There was a pilot back there. I don't think he was flying the plane, but today, who knows? Maybe he was flying the plane. You actually can fly a plane while drinking, but don't. You're not. I would say some of the ex-military pilots who were flying well was safer to fly with than some of the people who are coming out of flight school today who don't drink. But that's just one man's opinion. I know I said, oh, wow, whatever. Well, I got to eat soon. So that was my 747 story. Nothing against JetBlue. I came back flying in the Mint class. It's a beautiful flight with the sleeper seats. Still have to sit still for 6 hours, whatever, 5 hours. And food you can't eat. It's I mean, it's okay. They try their best, five different courses or whatever, five little dishes. And I never drink on these planes. My flight is either too early in the morning or afternoon. I don't drink during the day. But I read, I watch a movie called Ferrari. I don't know if you've seen a great movie about the man who created the Ferrari company, his marital problem, the son who died from leukemia, his affair, the sound of those V12 engines in the movie for just awesome. I've had a lot of cars. I had a V8 Ferrari back in '07, '08, '06 actually, great car. I had many different cars. Now I'm not into the car thing anymore. I don't have a boat even. I mean, I miss boating. And when I miss my boat, I go on a ferry. It's 170 feet with a full crew and a bar. I don't have to go to the boat yard. I don't have to hire anyone to clean it. I go out there for the. So when I go on the ferry to the city, which I'll do maybe next week, it's commute time. You see people coming back from work in San Francisco. You see people, entertaining themselves. Boat, how it traverses the water, got great stabilization. These were built in '75 in the San Diego shipyard. Great boats. And that's it. I have nothing more to say other than it's earth in upheaval, worlds in collision. I don't have to bash Biden. He bashes himself every time he talks. And it's getting so bad that they have people walking next to him between the cameras and the feeble president, so you can't see him shuffling. I don't know how he make it to the gate. I don't know how he's going to do it. His gait indicates he will not make it to the gate. I mean, I pray for his health because next in line than him, according to all people who know her from the East Bay. Oh my God, Mom and you. Oh my God. She's a real zealot and a racist, that one. Machiavellian, dangerous. So we got to pray for Biden's health, at least to the debates with Trump. Now he said, let's get it on with Trump. You know Trump is going to trounce him. Now, Trump has to be very careful. This is a bully. He could bury him. He's got the mental acuity of a 30-year-old. I met with him last week in Mar. I did. It was my honor to have been at Mar-a-Lago and meet some of the best people on the planet. People, beautiful people. And it was so nice to see people say, we remember you, we love you, loved you on radio, you were a pioneer, blah, blah, and your podcasts are the best in the business. It was nice. And these people were big in the media, and it was nice. Truthfully, everyone needs to have their ego brushed once in a while. And then, I don't know, toward the end, I maybe had 2 big vodkas. That was it. I wasn't drinking wine. I don't drink wine in restaurants because unless I can control what I'm drinking, I don't want it. I wasn't pushing myself on Trump. When he came in, by the way, after it was like night, I mean, he came in late in the night. When he saw me, he shook my hand immediately. He loved me. I saw his face. It lit up. He still loves me, never mind what the detractors would have you believe. He knows I'm an honest guy, and he can count on me that he gets the M's from me, which is the truth. For years, he knows that. He has enough ass kissers around him. I didn't push myself on him for a private meeting with some people. I don't know who they were. I did not push myself in off the main lobby. And toward the end, my host came out and said he'd like to see you now. I said, okay, that's great. I didn't even ask for it, which is for a pushy Jew from New York. I'll tell you the truth. And I go in, and he's hard for 6 of us. It was so wonderful. This is after they're trying to wreck him in the court. That fat pimp, Alvin Bragg. That fat pimp, Alvin Bragg, should be in Rikers Island right now for what he's doing to the country. Alvin Bragg is right now, that fat pimp. Put there by George Soros, put there by Joe Biden, put there by Obama and Valerie Jarrett. We know the whole chain of command. So that fat pimp, street pimp, Alvin Bragg, is trying to destroy America through Trump, but it's backfiring on them. It's backfiring on them. They have no case. It's going to be thrown out at the end or appealed, and they haven't sullied his reputation. You know that. So I met with him. He was so strong. I don't know how he does it. The man does not. You should know that. I wish I knew what meds Biden was on. Maybe HIPAA. Because when he's not shuffling, he's trying to speak, and sometimes he's very cogent. After the hippo colostrum, I would guess. I drink to President Biden's health for fear of what might should he not make it to the finish line. Now I could bring up topics such as this is dinner with Michael, but my food is ready, and it's been probably getting too cold now. It's sitting there. See, it dried out a little. Actually, I like it that way. I like it a little on the dry side. My rice is done. You have to forgive me because I'm going to eat, my friends. I can continue this another day, and I will. Perhaps on Sunday, when I do God Talk on the channel, I may do God Talk about the battle between religion and statism. It's not been adequately done, or let's say it's not been done the way I would do it. The battle between statism. Now you'd say, come on, you know that Marxism doesn't work. Of course not. I understand that. I know what Pol Pot did to his enemies, the humiliations that we have now through DEI training and affirmative action. That's the early days of Pol Pot in Cambodia. I didn't put up with it when they tried to impose it on me 30 years ago at the KGL radio. I told them to go fuck themselves and walked out. I was the only one who got up and said, fuck yourself, you racist bastards. And I walked out. And the general manager canceled diversity training after that. Fuck yourself, and I walked out. They had a black lesbian, that an Asian white hater. It was sickening. I said, fuck you, and I walked out. You can't do that today. You'd be afraid. But if all of us did it and said, fuck you, and walked out of DEI training, those fat losers who have the state behind them, what would happen? You'd all get fired? Bullshit. There's power in numbers. They don't have the numbers. We do, but we don't use them. But that's for another night. So I may do that on Sunday. Right now, you can go to the podcast, which is incredible, with Waleed Shobat. I did 2 with him. You won't believe these. He was a former PL Christianity, a Arab who converted to Christianity, became a total wonderful man. He may say things you don't expect about Islam, about the Muslim Brotherhood, but it's not the Muslim Brotherhood running America right now in the Western world. It is the Muslim sister, as yours truly, Michael Savage, defined it many years ago. Ilhan Omar and this creature, this Talib, they are the head of the Muslim Sisterhood. They're the head of the female snake of radical Islam. If I were in this country, they'd be thrown out, they'd be stripped of citizenship and thrown out of this country, both of them, along with occasional Cortex. He's the most dangerous of all, Alexandria Occasional Cortex. Here's a fraudulent Hispanic, grew up in Westchester County, to an architect father, makes believe she's down with the people. Suddenly she's honorary black girl, under arrest. A bunch of lies. And don't get me started on Greta Thunberg, who looks very autistic to me. What a moron that one is. Anything Greta Thunberg says you can dismiss immediately as that of a mentally adult individual. Greta Thunberg, I'm going to listen to on higher mathematics and climate science. So anyway, folks, I've had fun. I hope you've enjoyed my dinner with Michael tonight. I'd rather you go to my podcast and download the Waleed Shub podcast than anything else. You won't believe what you're going to learn. And that is the Savage Nation podcast, Michael Savage podcast, after 2 years to the Savage Nation podcast. We rebranded it to the title that everyone knows. However long God wants me to do this, I'll be doing it. Not for long, not for much longer, I don't mean I'm going to drop dead necessarily. That's not in my hands, because I did a podcast once where we never know where we're going to die. For those of you who want to know where that's coming from. Or you know where you're going to die? Each morning I wake up and I thank God for life. See people, what they do at night? Sailboats. I love it. I love people do this. So that's the state of the world according to Michael. Friday night with Michael. We will close with what we open with, which is my portulent French friend inviting me to dinner. Yes, Pierre, I'll be along shortly to enjoy my dinner. Good night, and God bless America, or may God bless America. You say God bless. What are we, God, telling God what to do? We have to say, may God bless America. May God bless Donald Trump. May God bless Donald Trump, that he shall overcome all of his enemies and see them where they want to put him. Baruch Hashem. On that note, I say good night and thank you for being with me. Until the next time we meet, hit the like button, subscribe so you know when I'm going to do this. I do it spontaneously. I didn't know I was going to do it tonight, So there we go. Now I have to hit the stop button. I always have trouble with the stop button on this guy. I hit